What's going on, guys? Welcome to another live session with your boy Phrankleen. I'm trying to mute the volume on here. If you can hear me, you can see me, hit the like button. Welcome to another live session with your boy Phrankleen. All right. Hit the like button. Let's get the numbers up. What's going on now? Right, if you can see me, hit the like button. Yo, Sizzles. What's up? I'm gonna make you Sizzles. I made you a moderator now, okay? Yeah. What's going on, man? If you can see me, you can hear me. So tonight, right? I'll be honest. My heart is very, very heavy. Okay, I didn't have any plan to come on live today, but just like yourselves, I've been reading the news. I've been watching everything, and my heart has just been very, 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 very heavy, man. I want us to talk, okay? I'm going to put up the link in a moment. I mean, George Floyd is basically the brother who unfortunately got obliterated. He's basically the brother who unfortunately got obliterated in America. So I want us to talk. I want us to rub minds and discuss. Tell me what you think, because this vicious cycle, and I'm going to tie this into something. You see, a few days ago, let me just say this very quickly before we talk about George Floyd. A few days ago, I made a video talking about ADOS and all that stuff, and so many African American brothers and sisters, people that got it, but some people took it personally. Some people just got pointlessly angry. I was shocked, and a lot of hate amongst ourselves. And it just got me thinking. And this is another example. Okay, they are taking us out. We are at the bottom of everything bad. Yes, there's a consciousness that Black power, we're strong. Those of us that can mentally still cope and push forward and say, we believe in this, we believe in that. But when you see this on a daily basis and all this, oh, thank you, Alida Kelly, thank you, my sister, thank you, appreciate you. When you see this on a daily basis, it just breaks my heart. And the question is, what are we doing? What needs to be done? You see, we're going to go back to the same point, which is, I've been saying it. What's going on in America, right? It's been going on for donkey years. Eric Garner and all these people that are, unfortunately, their existence has been cut short due to bad policing, due to racism, due to discrimination, unfair treatment, heavy-handedness, denial of due process, unfair treatment, and the list goes on, right? Do you agree with me that as Black folks, right, we are the best resource that we've got? Do you agree with me? This is why I keep emphasizing on it. We are the best resource because the oppressors evidently, clearly are not interested in giving us our freedom. So what do you think? Where do you think the power lies? The power lies in our hands to come together, to push hard to get justice, not just justice, to get the reformation in laws and all these things. Now, to cut the chase, these police officers, because of public outcry, the police department was forced to, they've been forced to sack them, but they are yet to be arrested. They are yet to be charged. That just tells you who is in charge and the unbelievable level of unfairness, denial of justice that the Black community is constantly subjected to. Right? It's unbelievable, man. It's just heart shattering. I watched that video. Right? I'm the type of dude I really don't like I really don't like really bloody, stuff and videos and content. But I watched it. I watched this brother crying, crying with his last breath. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Please. The bystanders, they did their bit, it was part to do with they didn't some of them knew they could get arrested, be subjected to a similar forceful treatment. And there's this Chinese police officer that had this poker face about him, stood there like a human life wasn't about to be cut short. And these white police officer knelt on this man's neck with utmost force and pressure, and you could see the evilness in this guy's eyes. And he pressed and pressed and pressed until that man lost consciousness. But if you watch the extended version of that video, by the time they picked up his body and put him on that stretcher, when the ambulance came, I knew it was game over. I just knew he was gone. He was literally begging for his life, man. I was a man. Man, it's so, man, it's so heartbreaking. Just the unbelievable level of evilness that the Black race is subjected to. What I was saying earlier about the man, the ADOS thing I was talking about, it just breaks my heart. I suppose the point I was trying to pass across in that video is whatever, descendants of slaves or slavery, whatever bag load of money you want to go claim, my message is, see, I'm not bothered the slightest about what money anybody wants to go and claim. If we are not collectively fighting for a reformation in law, rules and regulation, the laws that govern even the courts of law, the police departments, like George Floyd's case, if we don't have a police reform, right, where there is a rock solid layers of accountability, we don't have rules, laws that we know that, okay, these parts of the law will protect me. This is what I'm talking, and you have some of these people are talking, calling yourself, butt scratchers or whatever nasty names. You're divisive among the Black community. And look at it, man. They are killing us daily. They are killing us daily. Look, no disrespect to anybody, right? Your ADOS, whatever floats your boat. This is what I'm saying. Go and get your bag load of money. Even if they give each person $10 trillion, it's not going to give us the reform. You see, the laws that they create to protect themselves, to oppress us, that's where the power lies. If we are unable to challenge those age-old layers and layers of very evil laws that are destroying our families, our lives, our community, our men, our women, our boys and girls, Please, I ask you respectfully, what's the point of getting a bagload of money, being an ADOS, having a separate title for yourself, and yeah, would deserve this compensation? I'm not saying you don't deserve it. If there is no reformation, what difference is that bagload of money going to make? You can actually be a multi-millionaire today, and the very evil system that targets Negroes can still come after you and have you destroyed. It's until we fight and get reformation of laws, we're able to effectively, as a unit, challenge these people. Man, if you've not watched that video, let me just tell you, man, if you haven't got the stomach, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I believe I'm a tough guy, mentally tough and stuff, but I burst in tears watching that video, man, because you're watching it play in real life before you. A man literally begging for his life. Please, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Mama, please. And this guy knelt down. You already had him cuffed. Another thing is, the police gave a fraudulent misrepresentation about George Floyd in their report, which is what they normally do. It's a template, right? To discredit, people. They lie in witness statements. That's like, it's a playground for them. They falsify evidence. It's the same here in the UK. It's the same in the US. It's the same everywhere. They said George was resisting arrest. He did this. He did that. Then another CCTV evidence that came out. You could see that the guy did not fight them. He did not, he did not resist any arrest. He didn't get in a scuffle with them. He wasn't threatening. He wasn't aggressive. And they lied. As I speak, as I'm sat here, they are yet to prosecute this guy, man. I mean, they are yet to formally arrest and charge these 4 police officers. They are cooling off at home as we speak, and I can bet that the police department are probably desperately, they're working now. They're desperately working on how to, cover up for those police officers. Let me, somebody said, I'm not ADOS, and is simply stating your claim as you should other people. The Caribbean is pushing for. Let me tell you, man, people are not listening. This is the problem with black people. I don't give a rat's behind, okay? If you want to go get 10 billion pounds or $10 billion for reparations, that's not the argument. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. These black people talking to me about bag load of money. That's not the problem. Go get your money if you want to go get. Oh, I'm ADOS. Oh, I'm ADOS. I want to go get this money. The black man is getting killed daily. You're talking about money. It's bigger than this. Please. Ain't nobody fighting and telling you, oh, not to get reparations. But reparation is not the way that your children and unborn children are going to get justice. It's not about the money alone. Who controls the justice system? Who controls the policing system? Who controls everything, man? The powers that be. What's up with these people, man? Don't come on here and tell me, I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound disrespectful. Don't come on here and talk nonsense to me about money. Get lost. Come on, man. The police department that killed George Floyd, they could wake up tomorrow morning and, oh, we're so sorry for killing George. Here is $5 million. That man's life is worth more than $5-10 billion. Get out of here with that BS, man. ADOS this, ADOS that. I'm gonna sit your black ass down. Please. It could be me tomorrow, man. It could be your son tomorrow. It could be your brother. A lot of those people running their mouth like the bathroom tap until it comes very close to home, man. And you see them, African these, oh, we won this land. The black community is powerless. There is a goddamn reason for me to mention ADOS, Sophia. I can mention whatever I want on my timeline. You don't like it? Jog on. Okay? I'm a very passionate black man. I don't, you know, you don't like it, you can move on. Don't come back. Don't come here to run your mouth. A human life has been obliterated. I don't know Mr. George Floyd, but that man looks like me, just like Wadimaya said in his video today. That brother looks like me. That brother looks like a lot of us on this timeline. You don't like what I'm saying? Listen, Sophia, you can get lost. How about I block your ass, man? Don't come on my timeline and run your mouth, man. You think this is some kind of a joke? I'll block your ass. It hurts so bad. It hurts so bad, man. You can't even stand on the pavement to have a conversation. You can't even do this. Racial profiling, oppression every day, 24/7. This is all I'm saying. If my brothers and sisters want to get $100 million, by all means, get $100 million. But our problems are not limited to those monies. You can get those monies, go and buy your stocks, go and buy your shares, go and buy your lovely homes in gated communities, send your children to private schools, go and buy farmlands, go and invest. It's great. You see, you can build your business empire for the next decade or two if the powers that be, the people that controls, that make these unlawful that pass this unlawful, shall I say, laws that govern your lives and my life. They can come, it's like the switch of a button, they can come tomorrow and wipe everything that you own. I mean, you don't need me to tell you. America has extensive history of unfairness. Look at the prison system. A black man, a white counterpart, they commit the same offense, regardless of the size and complexity of that offense. The white man, don't do that again, okay? Don't do that again. Don't do that again. The black man, boom, Negro. That's what happens. You don't need me to tell you that. Some black folks says you're here talking to me about compensation. You look at it, I watched that video, you look at the evilness. And I couldn't, my belly was just turning like a tumble dryer. You've got to be a psychopath, trust me, to be able to have your hand in your pocket and kneel on someone's neck and stand there and pretend like nothing is happening and watch somebody just go like that. And the guy got up. They put him in a stretcher, went to his colleague, and he was shrugging. You could see him, you could see that white supremacy in him, walking with his chest held up high, like there's nothing to see. And I'm like, wait, that's the end. That brother is gone forever. And then you have some buffoons. You have some black folks who evidently you're suffering from judgmental poverty. You come to my timeline running your mouth like the bath in your bathrooms, talking to me about Africans are these, we this. I mean, sit you across the ass down. If you're not going to fight together, get ready to die at the bottom of the spectrum. Let's get ready. We might as well tell ourselves the truth. We are powerless as a people. They are ruining us every day. Go and look at Instagram. Go and look at Facebook. The web is awash with hashtags, justice for George, justice for George. They know this, right? After a few days, the dust will settle. They carry on as normal. Before we know again, the next person gets killed. And on goes the vicious cycle. Most black people in powerful places, athletes, all the sportsmen, a lot of them are sellouts. They're posting memes. They're not really using their voices, their power, the money they have to help for the reformation, for the reformation of the law that governs us. It's like they write these laws. It's aimed It's not a law that's there for everybody. A black person commits a crime. Okay, that's a crime. A white counterpart does the same thing. The black person gets donkey years in prison. The white person walks free. It's let me put if you can see me, look, man, look, I'm just sorry if you find me a little crazy tonight, man. I'm very emotional. I'm very, very emotional today. And it's just because of this news about this George Floyd. My head's been spinning all day, man. Look, if you wanna call in, click on that link. Please click on that link. No disrespect, man. Click on that link. How do you think if you click on that link to dial in, please, can I just say, how do you think, my question is, in 1 or 2 minutes, how do you think we can end this? Is this vicious cycle ever going to end? Let's talk. You have 1 to 2 minutes to talk to me, okay? Dial in. Is that Fisaya? Hello.
Hello, brother.
Hi, my brother.
Hi. What I've got to say about, about this whole issue is because I watched the video myself, and it was heartbreaking. It was gut-wrenching. I couldn't stand it, and I believe that it's not just just the end of life. I think it's passing the message to the black community. I think it goes deeper than what they're doing right now. I mean, oh man, I don't know. I think they want to destroy us, like, psychologically. That's what I think. Like, they want to destroy us.
Let's call it what it is, man. It's black genocide.
That's what it is. And I was reading a story.
It's happening in real time. It's playing out before our eyes. The prison system obliterating you in broad daylight, and there ain't nothing we're going to do about it. It's black genocide.
Nothing, bro. Nothing. And actually, I read something in the news today about one man called Archie Williams.
Right.
The man spent 37 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit.
Oh yeah.
And that just broke my heart. And I was thinking to myself, like, where do we start from? Where do we start from? Where is the unity within the black community? How are we going to unite and stand against these, long-standing issue? I don't know. I really don't. My heart's broken. It's broken.
Anyway, thank you, my brother. Let me get other people in, man. Thank you, man.
All right.
Right. Let me get. Hi, David.
Hi, Phrankleen. Can you hear me?
Hi, yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Yes.
My problem with the whole situation is I don't know how black people can come together. To be honest, I just don't see how, because even back home, see, look at the suffering. I don't just know why we are just in every single part. I don't know why we are just scattered. We are just scattered in every single aspect of life. Back home is nothing to write home about. You can't even say these people should come to Africa to help them. You can't even say they should stay there.
Yeah.
And back home is probably even worse. It's probably even worse because this was a personal encounter of how a police officer stood in front of me. I was there to shoot a friend of mine because he refused to show him his phone.
Wow.
So I'm pained because now back home we can't even tell them, oh, come here, let us help you, because we are not even still sure. Because the average black man doesn't support the average black man.
Oh, you got them right.
Everyone fighting against themselves. Nobody is just looking for, oh, let us find a way, let us move forward. Nobody wants to do that. See the way our government treats us here. Like they know, okay, we can treat them anyhow. Let's just. So I don't even know really. I can't find a means where the black people can come together because I feel this will just be a cycle. After 2 weeks, it goes down.
Exactly.
The next case will come.
You talk about it, the hashtags on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, a few days, the dust settles, they carry on. Nothing changes.
That's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Look at the case of all this Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner, all these people. Case after case.
The one that shocked me was the one I've forgotten. That was in the 50s or so that they burnt a young boy because it was a popular story. I've forgotten his name. They burnt him because the white woman claimed he raped her and he didn't do anything and they burnt him alive. And you are like, okay, now let's just see what we can do for these people. Can we bring them home? Still no. So I don't even know what to do to solve this issue because I can't tell because I don't accept because first of all we have to sort out home first. We have to sort out home to bring them here. We have to sort out home. If home is not sorted out, there is no way. You can't expect a man you can't be expected to be treated better in another man's home when your home is finished.
And you know what? Sorry to interrupt you. Do you know what's even in addition to what you said? Yeah. Let me give you an example. Do you know what's crazy, bro? I live in the UK. We're here. A lot of my brothers and sisters are scattered across the globe. The globe. We live in the West. We are facing all this ill treatment 24 hours. When you go to Nigeria, my brother, and you see all these expatriates, the way they live, my, you start to double, triple, and quadruple check your brain like, oh, hold on. Are we in the same country? Am I joking?
No. That's the fact of the country. The country is
our police officers in Nigeria, they hold umbrellas for the American expatriates, the Chinese expatriates.
It is shocking. It is like even the black people, even the black man here. A guy says something. Even in a black man's country, a white man still has a higher chance of getting a job over a black man. Imagine, see how we treat them when we treat them like they're gods. It's fascinating, isn't? And you look at things things that are being built. I was shocked when I read the highest paid robotics engineer in the world is a Nigerian.
Yeah.
So somebody can achieve this much. It's not a white man. What is happening to the rest of black people? You see, a guy told me one point. He said, for Africa to change, we must be ready to die first. People must be ready because the leaders in power, I think they're even far worse than the white man.
No. Let me put it to you simply. You see, if it was possible for the West, we'll just wake up one day, like the next election, and you just find a white president and a white vice president, and then white ministers and stuff. But of course, that will lead to global outcry. It will be too obvious. You see, all the leaders that you see in most African countries, they are puppets. That's why you and I can sit here and talk about lack of constant electricity here. Oh, they're not doing the roads here. Why are we talking about this for donkey years? There is a reason. Because the resources are diverted to every other means. It's a deliberate action. So you and I regularly, we're frustrated. We'll talk about it. You see what's crazy? I remember some years ago, I was a lot younger. I was a little boy. And I remember when my pops used to talk, with like some of his mates and like on a Saturday when dads buy newspaper and they're talking about politics generally, and they'll be talking about the days of them Awolowo and blah, 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 and about corruption. Just imagine when corruption had started. Imagine now. I'm getting older. And here we are banging
Now
out about the
it's just terrible. Now you can't even just you can't go through the airport without being stopped at every single point.
My brother, sorry,
No,
I don't mean to cut you. Let me get the next person in so that we can
no
cover this.
problem. No problem.
Thank you,
Thanks.
my brother. Yeah. Right, let me get the next person in. Ooh, hold on. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Victor.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Phrankleen. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, bro.
All right. Thanks very much. Thanks for this opportunity. I am beyond appalled about the situation that's happened. The video, showing him George Floyd begging for his life is very, very graphic, and it shows that the level of hate, deep-seated hate, in the
9
United
minutes, bro.
States. In the
Yeah,
United States. And it's really, really crazy. It is really, really crazy because, it is really quite time for Black, wherever you are, Caribbean, African, wherever, who you are, to unite, to defend, to go against this particular scourge, because it is not going to go down. It is not going to abate. It's going to get worse, more serious, and more evil. These people don't give a two F's about you. They don't give two F's about us. It is designed to put them at the top and make them leaders over us. And until we come together, forsaking whether, you're of my tribe or you want me or whatever, we must come together as one body to destroy this common enemy. So if we can do that, it'll be a lot more better. Thanks for actually what you're doing. I'm really a big fan of your channel. And I just hope that Africans, Black people in general, can come together and fight this common enemy. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. God bless. Thank you. Thank you, Victor. Western Goddess. Activate your mic. Yeah,
yes,
what's up?
Franklin. You can hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Good. I wanted to call in because obviously everybody has seen this appalling video. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also live in the UK. And we Africans in the UK here, we experience racism nearly every day.
24/7.
To see something like that on my phone screen this morning when I first seen it, I said, this is not going to stop. This is not going to stop unless we retaliate. Yeah. We might as well get ready for the next one. Yeah.
That's exactly
because these white people, I'm just going to keep it plain and simple, these white people know nothing is going to happen. They know nothing is going to happen. And they can't do this to an Asian man. What they did to George Floyd, they know if they did that to an Asian man, there would be war.
Oh, yeah.
But because he's got black skin, nothing is going to happen. They're just going to continue to do it. Well, 2 weeks before, they shut down the young man called, what's his name?
Who's that?
He was jogging in the park. That one.
Oh, yeah.
The name.
The name went off the top of my head. Yeah.
They shut him down in the same manner. And it's only because the video came out to social media is why they arrested the perpetrators.
Exactly.
So what is going to happen? Nothing's going to happen. Nothing is going to happen.
The only reason they fired these 4 police officers, they were forced to fire them. The only reason they fired them is because of the public outcry via social media. In fact, somebody exposed some data about there's been a plethora of previous complaints against all 4 police officers in the past, and the police department did nothing. Dismissed. They didn't even bother to investigate them. They just cover up.
Yeah, yeah. And I believe they will also cover up this one. They are telling us that these police officers have been suspended or they've been sacked, yeah? But for all we know, they won't have no trouble getting another job as a police officer. There's
Yeah.
somebody waiting. There's somebody waiting that may be even higher than the people who they used to work for or still work for that is ready to hire them again.
It's crazy. It's
but
crazy.
It's sad. It's very sad. But yes, thank you very much. I won't hold your phone line anymore. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you. All right, all right. Right. Thank you for that. Samaya, let's get you in. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you very quickly, my brother. Hello. What do you think about what's happened? Do you think this is going to stop? What can we do?
Okay. One of the issues going on right now is I'm looking through the like most African celebrities, their Snapchat and everything, and what I notice is they just share this problem on their IG story. They don't actually post it, or maybe it's just justice for. There's nothing more than that. It's just one snapshot and that's all, and they continue with their daily lives. You understand? So one of the things I see is you and Wademaya. I think it's only both of you, and maybe Virtue Grace or something like that. I think three of you are one of the three few who can bring this type of ideology to maybe at least to some grassroots level in Africa, because it is through people at the grassroots who see the injustice and they start to treat they no longer treat whites the way they do right now. So it has to start from the grassroots in Africa. And one of the other issues I see is difficult sometimes for people.
Sorry, hold on, bro. Sorry to interrupt you. So there's about 363 people online. Can I ask you respectfully to please like the video, please? Please like the video. Like the video. I appreciate you. Please like the video, okay? There's 363 people online. Go on, my brother.
Okay, so one of the issues is people back home, especially in countries like Nigeria and Kenya, where they have serious police brutality. They are kind of finding it hard. Some people, I think the majority of Nigerians, Kenyans, they actually see that this is wrong, but there are some few who are finding it difficult to understand because of the type of police brutality they face in their own country. So maybe they try to twist it to some classism issue and stuff like that, or deflect and say, oh, we face worse. I actually think, for me, maybe because I don't longer live in Nigeria, but being killed for your skin color pains me more than seeing SARS kill ordinary Nigerians. But I can't actually justify, because I see some Nigerians abroad try to belittle police brutality in Nigeria with racism abroad. So it's just I don't like the mess I'm seeing on Twitter. It's just a lot of rubbish.
Thank you, my brother.
That's a lot to say.
The next person, Kareem.
Yes, Franklin, how are you?
I'm all right, brother. You?
I'm all right. So I'm here in the U.S. I reside in Brooklyn, New York, and it is a tragedy, yes, what took place to Mr. Floyd here yesterday. And I think as a people, we give these other folks a lot of credit. And we need to stop calling them white people. I believe the right terminology we should be using is Caucasian people. Take away that strength from them, because I guess when we call them white people, they feel superior above us. And the more we keep giving them that right to feel superior above us, they always would think that they are above us. So we should address them as they are, Caucasian. Another thing I think we should do, we need to somehow form this united bond that is going to be unbreakable. That means that the coons that we have not only here in the United States or the Caribbean, also in the motherland, We need to rid of them from politics and out of the way, and bring people indoors who would be able to stand up for us and get us there to where we have to be. So this is my words that I would like to share to you guys.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day. Camille, is it Kamali? Let me add Kamali. Hello. Hello. Kamali. If you want to join the call, right, there's a link on there. Thank you, Jerry or Jay, for the super chat. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Kamali. Right, okay. I think we lost Kamali. Kind of getting a response. Okay, let me get the next person in. If you want to join the conversation, I would like to have African Americans on. If you feel strongly about the situation, about George Floyd's situation, and you'd like to share something with us, please, let's hear from you. Hello. Unmute your mic. Hello.
Hi, how are you, Phrankleen?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, yeah.
Okay. I'm really glad that you touched on this topic.
Right.
I just feel, and for me, I believe that it's all about what's going on is structural racism. It's been going on for so long. If you look at the healthcare system, the education, housing, even the criminal justice system, it's all about structural racism. And I really wish all people of color can come together and start realizing that this is something we all have to come together and put our hands together and try and stop it. Because on Monday, just watching my phone, and I'm looking at the woman that had issues in the park calling the cops on a black man. And I was like, if it wasn't recorded, what could have happened to this black man? Then on Tuesday, you get to find out that they killed another black man. I mean, how many more black people are they going to kill until we actually do something about it?
I agree. That's where the problem lies, because how do we, this is what I'm saying, because they know, I saw some videos today. People went to the police, I think their parking lots, destroyed some police cars. I get the anger, but that's not the remedy that we need, right? So after a few days, everything's going to go quiet. And then what? We go back to normal. And then the next black person, on and on goes the vicious cycle.
And especially with the president in power right now, I think he just gave them a bomb that exploded that, hey, you can talk about racism. You can do what you want to do to the black man or to the black woman right now. He gave them a free opening.
I mean, somebody said something about what was it that George Floyd, what was it that he did and what he was caught for? As far as I'm concerned, based on what was put out there, they said something to do with the forged bank note. Now, how far that is true, I don't know. Okay, but let's be clear, because I'm looking at some comments. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but can I respectfully just say, I'm talking hypothetically now. Let's assume that Mr. Floyd maybe was guilty of being in possession of maybe forged bank notes. That can never be a justification for being murdered. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That can never be a justification for the police officer's action. Now, I remember reading this information. They already put out information saying, oh, he resisted arrest. He was aggressive. He assaulted police officers and stuff. Now, a CCTV footage then got exposed, and you could see him. He's a big guy. He's a tall guy, with broad shoulders. He wasn't aggressive. He didn't resist arrest. They asked him to turn around. He turned around. He complied. He put his hands behind his back. They put cuffs on him. They held him. And, of course, things must have escalated in terms of, verbal exchange and stuff. But it did not correspond with the account of the police officers, if that makes sense. So the police officers that can get out of their way to indulge in fraudulent misrepresentation already have a preconceived notion, have resentment for the man or for people that look like him.
As you said before, Phrankleen, the police already had a script of what they wanted to say about this case. If it wasn't because somebody recorded it, and if it wasn't because of the CCTV, it would have been what the police gave us that we would have gone off.
Absolutely. And that happens all the time. Anyway, thank you. Let me get the next person in. Thank you. Stacey Ann. Hi. Oh, she's gone off. Kamali. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, brother Franklin. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Oh, no. Thank you very much for putting me in. Yeah, man, with regards to what you're saying, I did watch the video. It was really sad. And I think like the only way this can be stopped is like I'm talking to my African American brothers and sisters. Like the only way they can stop this is when they come together and realize that power lies in unity, because if not, like this will keep going on and on and on. Once we talk about this, complain and all of that, another brother life will be taken again, and then we come back together, complain, cry again. So the only way is to come together, and know who they really are. Like, the Black Wall Street, that, those are the times when Black Americans were really powerful. They realized who they really are, and so the reason why, why Americans keep doing this to Black Americans, because they've realized how powerful Black Americans are, and when it comes to entertainment,
can I say something, right?
Yeah.
And just in line with what you said, you see the idea, blacks, we are powerful, and I believe that. I believe in myself. I proclaim it. I say it all the time. I'm powerful. I'm black and proud. But it's almost an illusion now at this point.
Yeah.
It makes you start to, doesn't mean, doesn't make us less of who we are. But you see, in the very obvious sense of it, externally particularly, like you would agree with me, we're not united. We haven't got any pillars within our society, within our communities that you can say, you can call such and such, they will fight our corner, we shout, scream. We are the most detested race of people. We are at the bottom end of everything bad.
Yeah.
Because it's as an easy target.
Yeah. And that's because we're not united, because unity, like I said, unity equals to power. When people are not united, it's very easy to divide them. It's very easy to confuse them. Just like in Africa, our leaders are not united. They're all puppets to the West, and then that's why it's very easy for the West to use them against their own people. They come exploit our resources, because that unity, we lack it. Unless we come together, that's the only way we can find our strength and be able to create our wealth. And so yeah, that's it. Let's come together and do something about it. If not, we'll forever be dominated, exploited, and then we keep complaining, blah blah. Our brothers are being killed and all of that. Now it's high time to do something. If not, I don't see any future for us because, you know, and these African American celebrities, they're all, useless. They use their platform to fool their own people, to exploit their own people.
Yeah, most of them. I
Most of
respectfully,
them.
most of them are puppets.
All they do is upload pictures saying, "Oh man, they blah blah blah, this and that." Do something. Do something.
Yeah,
You've got the means.
They can't, unfortunately, because they are puppets. They're controlled.
That's it. That's it. They're all part of the whole system that is exploiting of black people. That's it. So they know that they're all afraid to say something or do something. So they use their platform to just fool their own people. And black people are so complacent as well. We just go on their social media saying, yes, brother, yes, yeah, blah blah, giving them all this.
Thank you, brother. Let me get the next brother in quickly. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you very much.
Let me get the next brother in. What's going on, bro?
Good. I really appreciate your show, man. I really appreciate you. I'm here in the US. I'm in a very, very bad city, like a very bad location. You see, all the people, I'm not trying to hate on anybody, you see. All the people that are calling, you see, most of them are on mic, they don't want to show their face. I don't know. What you afraid of? What you afraid of? We are dead anyways. If they keep killing people like this every day.
Wait. Some people, because of their jobs, it's a lot of problems. I've met someone before who's been on my show and told me that because of his employment contract, right? The employer doesn't want, because they know social media is volatile.
What's the business of your employer with your social? What's the business of them?
Well, if you agree
so long as
to
you're
sign,
not saying anything to affect anybody, you're just giving your opinion.
If you're getting your bread from someone,
what's the problem? You see the fear. I understand you, but the fear alone of the black man, it's a disgrace. You see, look at Trump, for example. He go on about saying any kind of stuff. I know he's the president, right? He's the president. He could do whatever. Most of the things he said, if an ordinary person should say that, he will be locked away for a very long time. But I know I've have to move because of black people. I've have to move from 3 different locations. They're killing each other first. A 3-year-old boy was shot from a crossfire between 2 black guys. They were fighting for drugs. A kid was killed yesterday in my neighborhood. You see, when you guys behave like this, you only find black men hanging in the stores trying to do fraud. We are being targeted. We are being hunted. Leave the crimes alone for the white folks. Let them keep doing the crimes. Everybody is doing crime. Don't expect the same judgment to go for you the way they go for white. You know what's happening. Nobody's new to this stuff. We are being hunted. We need to do better. If a group of lawyers come together as black people, well educated, we stand a chance. If doctors come together, we stand a chance. But if a group of thugs come, they will kill them. They will be tased. We need more from our black people. We need people to stop hanging around stores. You are going on social media, you are having your boobs out, you're shaking your ass. Don't be known for that kind of stuff. We want to be people that they see in the society with a vision. 10 years from now, all the people that are messing up as black people, if they start going to schools, there will be a change. There is no change when we keep talking all about having drugs everywhere, smoking weed, doing all kinds. I'm not saying those stuffs are bad, but if we limit that stuff, stay out of the scene. Let the white folks be there doing it because they are doing it too. Don't be involved.
Can I say something? I agree with what you're saying.
I'm
I
listening.
agree. What you're saying, a very powerful stuff, but you're making a big mistake, right? You see, what I always campaign for, I agree with you, my brother. Like, oh, let's stop tarnishing our image, is what you're saying. Don't give ammunition to, to keep on profiling us and stuff. But let me tell you, I can sit here tonight and give you a truckload of stories of law-abiding black people, yeah, that have been victims, both male and female. Forget about the ones who are sagging, who doing maybe credit card frauds or whatever, who would blatantly, you can spot them from miles away. Forget about those ones you see in the store. I'm talking law-abiding black folks, yeah, that are unfairly targeted by the state, the police and stuff, whose lives, careers, livelihoods get completely obliterated. And when you go into the root cause of everything, it's just because of racism. Do you understand me? So, and another thing is, see, I'm for all these, you are addressed the way you will be addressed, the way you addressed and all that stuff. But let me tell you, man, I'm a grown man and I've reached a point in my life, apart from clear, obvious things, like if I have a son or I have younger ones in my family, and I say, hey man, stop showing the world your boxers, right? Pull up your jogging bottoms and, wear your trousers normally. Oh, he's gone. Oh, okay, cool. We've lost him. So all I'm basically trying to get at is, it's all nice with all the how our appearance and stuff, but let's not remove the focus from the fact that people get profiled anyway. Okay, let's not remove our focus and talk about how some people behave in the stores. That's a conversation for another day, man. Or maybe the brother legged it, I don't know. Right, let me try to get the next person in. This is about brother George Floyd. Our heart goes out to you, man. Rest in peace. Let me get Lee in. Hello. Hello. Oh, looks like she's frozen. Hello. Oh, Lean is gone. Right. Is this Stacey Ann?
Hello, Franklin.
Hi.
Hello. I saw just a short clip of the policeman having his knee on the neck of George. And it really did, it broke my heart. Because as you mentioned earlier, that evilness was there. He had that police officer had that sort of spirit, like, you know what, this morning I'm killing this guy regardless.
Yeah.
But I'll just make this point quickly. The question is, what can be done to address, this recurring situation in America? And ideally, we have the blueprint, which is we need to unite. As Black people, we need that community, togetherness. But the bigger question is, how can we do that when you have so much of, this, everybody's trying to, get one upon each other? Because you got is it the ADAS? The ADAS movement, which was coined by, is it Yvette Carnell, right? She goes in really hard for this movement, focusing on money, money, money. Fair enough, Americans, they they deserve something. The ancestors came there, they fought for it. But the point that she needs to focus on is police brutality. And she doesn't focus on that. So quite often you're speaking to like somebody from the ADAS movement, and it's like speaking to a brick wall. So I was quite happy that you blocked that lady, Sophia Brown, because she's a typical example of the problems. That mentality adds to the problems that Black Americans face and would continue to face because they're not dealing with the issue. So the question I hope someone can answer, how can we unite from the continents of Africa to the shores of the Caribbean, to wherever Black people are, wherever they live? How can we unite?
Right.
Because we have the blueprint. The blueprint is there.
Yeah.
And sadly, I can't think about a way that we can, because every time you come up with an idea, there's 2-3 of your own people bringing you back down. So can you think of an idea, Phrankleen? How can we unite? This is the question that, if callers can answer that, how can we unite worldwide?
Yeah, I want to hear from. I mean, we'll get there, but let me bring other people on. There's Gina. There was a few other people
Okay,
that
that's
I know.
fine.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. Thank you for your contribution. Anyway.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Stacey Ann. Gina, you're next. I can see you. Hello.
Hey guys, how are you? Phrankleen,
I'm all right, thanks. I'm fine, thank you.
I'm good. I mean, could be better. I'm in America, so I could be better. Okay, I'm gonna keep it short. We have to fight back. We're not
right.
Okay, they already know we don't have a government behind us.
Yeah.
That's where we fail. We already know what the biggest problem is that all the other races, be it Chinese, be it Japanese, be it anybody else, if they attack them, they know they have a country that will make a call and say, what's this?
Yeah.
Fix this. When this thing happened with George, I'm sure we didn't have any of our leaders in Africa say, hey, that is an African descendant. We need explanation. And that's a problem. That's a part of the problem. It's not just a problem for us here in the diaspora. It's a problem for Africans on the continent. Because white people, Chinese people, they come to the continent, they do what they will, and nothing happens. There was a mayor, and I don't know, that was taking care of some Chinese that was doing some things illegally. Today I saw a post that they made the mayor apologize to the Chinese. Wow. I believe in, what is it, in Tanzania? I don't know if it's Tanzania, one of those places, but when we do finally have someone that stand up for us, we have a whole bunch of coons that's gonna sit back and put it right back where it was. We have to fight. We got to be willing to die, and that's it. And understand that even the good white people. I apologize. I know there's some good white people out there, and I said this yesterday on my page when I was even the good white people. If there were good white people out there, truly, they would gun up and protect us. They know we're not in a position to gun up, and protect ourselves. But if you see 50 white people coming down the street with a bunch of guns, nothing's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
so I don't want to hear anybody else saying that, oh, it's not all white people. That argument's out the door, because if white people really wanted to stop racism, it would have been stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So they're not going to come through for us. They're not going to do it. And if you're white, if you're here, get yourself a page, get some good white people together. John Brown. We need a couple of John Browns out there. Start protecting us. There should be a number that we can call to say, hey, a black man is being attacked, and all of you should come in a truck full of guns, ready to stand up and fight for us. Okay, so we already got that out the way. Nobody white is going to come through for us, because you see, they play the race game. They are racist. They play the race game, and it is a team sport. Not everybody's a good player, but they're still a team. Some sit on the bench. Those are the nice ones. They sit on the bench. They might even talk to you while you sitting there next to them on the bench. But in the end of the day, they're wearing that jersey, and that it is a team sport. So that being said, we need to get that first out of our minds. They're not going to save us. So we have to save ourselves. And unless we are willing to forever have this racist white supremacy system with their knee on our neck forever, because they've had it for thousands of years. Come on, let's not play. They've been doing this to all of us, not just Black America, the brothers and sisters in the UK, in the Caribbeans, home in Africa. They're not going to stop this until we gun up and protect ourselves. When a white cop shoots a Black person and that cop think that, oh, his family could get killed, then he won't do that. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, of course.
This is the tough truth about it. People don't stop beating on you unless they are afraid that they're gonna get beat on too. It's like when you were in school, you had a couple of bullies. The bullies would beat you up every day, but if you ever took it to them and hurt them, they would never come back. And that's what these people are. They're bullies, and there's nice ones and there's good ones, but they're all the same, and it's a team sport. And we got to understand one thing: if we don't unite, we're gonna be right back where we started again. You might as well get ready, because your children's children will be slaves, because that's what they want. The majority of them. There are a few good white ones, but until they start gunning up to protect us, there's nothing we can't really depend on them to do anything. So Black men, Black women, Black children, we need to protect ourselves. And another thing, we have leaders that are not for our leaders. They are working for other people. They need to be removed. If we really want to stop all of this, get all those puppets out of office and put some real leaders in. And don't trust anybody that don't look like you, because that's how the snakes get paid within us. And that's just the way it is. I don't want to go around it anymore. This whole issue is really getting exhausting. How many more people are we're gonna be right back here next week talking about the next brother or sister that got killed. Yeah,
absolutely.
There's not enough people on this page right now to stop what's happening. It's got to happen collectively. It's got to happen collectively. And it's got to be something where I don't care how rich you are with Black skin or poor you are with Black skin, we have to play the race sport. Everybody else on earth is playing this. I mean, the Indians stick together, the Chinese stick together, Japanese stick together. Damn, everyone sticks together but us. It's a team sport. We have to play the race game. It's a team sport. Why do we have to be the most open people on this earth? Haven't we given enough blood? That's all I had to say.
Thank you, Gina. Wow. I get your voice shaky. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow. Lean. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Lost you earlier. I'm all right, thanks. You?
I'm well. I kind of come from a unique perspective. I am, when people say ADOS, I am just a person that's Black in America who has, my ancestors for hundreds of years have been here. So we have, and this is in my memory, because my grandmother, we lived with them. We cleaned their toilets. We raised their children. We're talking about white people. So we have a unique perspective of their psyche, how they operate, how they destroy each other, not just us. So when you say unite, it has to be very specific, centered around a specific thing with a specific agenda to have a plan to accomplish something. So when you say, we have seen how the US government, when the government is the weight of the government comes against other countries. So we have experienced the weight of the government against us as a people, as citizens or quasi-citizens. So therefore your approach has to be very cell-like. It can't be coordinated in the sense that you're connected, but it has to be small groups under specific things that have specific, because we know with us in America, because we are on the bottom and they need somebody to be on the bottom, they intentionally seek us out to keep foot on our neck, as to say. And that has always been the case. So even when the immigrants were white, when they let them come, this is the way they kept the existing people on the bottom, was to give, when they were ready, once they had worked them and got their work out of them, they would allow them to have access to the police departments and the fire departments. They would allow upward mobility. But for us, the way they kept us in check was separate us continually. So there is a unique perspective on how they think and how they work. So it can't be an out loud type of cohesiveness. It's going to have to be sort of like cell guerrilla warfare, because especially with today's technology, because when the weight of the government comes to bear on your neck and you live in that country, we see what happens outside of the country. We know on the continent of Africa, they have military bases everywhere. That's not just for show. There's a reason why they're there. And if you don't play along, they find a way to get in the back door and cause so much confusion and destruction. We know how they work. So there's no simple answer, but it's going to have to start small, and cohesiveness, togetherness, but on specific things. Everybody can't be involved in everything. Everybody doesn't have passion about everything. So approaching that police brutality, there's so many tentacles that causes that you can't break it in a simplistic. It's going to have to be multiple cells of quietly done until people are ready, because everybody's not ready for that type of fight. Everybody is not ready for a Syria on the ground in their neighborhood. Okay. So, and that means that some of your children are going to be, if it gets to that level, fighting back. Yeah, but you got to figure out, how do you want to fight back? What are you willing to risk? So we've seen I have stories in my family. I have a uncle that was electrocuted in an electric chair by being accused by a white woman. So these stories, the foot on the neck, we have stories that are literal of people we know. My grandfather was the first person to get a job at the Ford plant in Atlanta, the GM plant in Atlanta. Yeah. And he was born in 1905. And the laws are there to prosecute. It's how it's never applied in our benefit, it's always applied against us. He was walking down the road, and some of the guys that he worked with, because they couldn't stand him, hit him in the head and on a drive-by with a car, and these are white guys, and he was unable to work from that point on. So things like that happen all the time. We all have stories of that in our family. It's not just where you see it on TV. We have seen this in real life. It has been a constant with us in real life. So it's more than just a notion to say fight back. You got to know what you're fighting and what results you want. That's all I have to say. But I agree, there should be unity, but it's going to have to be multifaceted. So that's my input.
Thank you. Right, let's see who else is in the queue there. Anthony. How you doing, brother?
How you doing, Franklin? All right, how you doing? Thanks for having me on. Right. You know, I just want to say that I wanted to address the young man about 2 or 3 calls prior to me. He mentioned about what we need to do as a group of people as far as stop shaking our butts and exploiting ourselves and being violent amongst each other. And I understand it. I agree with that. You know, I definitely I understand that, but I just want to say we must understand our history, Franklin. Our history. Have you ever heard of Black Wall Street, Franklin?
Yeah.
Okay. You can be the most law-abiding, tie-wearing, proper English-speaking person in the world. They still hate you.
Absolutely.
You're not shaking your butt. You're not acting a fool. You're being respectful and you're running businesses. It doesn't matter. They burned the entire town, Franklin. It's a racial thing. They do not like Black people. This is history. I mean, I can take this all the way back to the beginning of civilization, beginning of time, the Greeks. This is not something that, because we're having, there's violence amongst ourselves and things like that. That's with any culture, any nation. They don't like Black people. I think that we also, our celebrities, they're very quiet. They use our celebrities to make a lot of commerce and money for them. And they are not. One thing I do agree with a young man that was on here, he said, we can't be scared. Show your face. Get on camera, celebrities and all. This is global, Franklin. This is not just here in America. This is global. It is time for us to unite. Now, I don't believe, listen, Franklin, in my heart, I want to be a revolutionary. I want justice for this in my heart. But I know that is, I don't think that's the proper way. I believe economically, we should band together globally. And on all four corners of the earth, the entire African race to band together and put in laws. We have to, we have to put our politicians in there, and we have to put our representatives in there. We have to change the system lawfully. Martin Luther King once said, "You can't stop a man from hating you. You can't, but you can make a law so he doesn't hang you." So you understand that, Franklin? Now, I just, like I said, in my heart, I want justice, man. It hurt me. I heard a man cry out for his mother.
Yeah.
This hurt me. I felt that. And so this has to change, and it has to change, like I said, economically, and we have to bond together, all of us from all over the world. This is global. This is in Europe. This is in Africa. This is in America. This is in Asia. Wherever we go, they oppress us. We don't need to keep talking about this. Listen to this, Franklin. I'm 55 years old.
Wow.
You're 55. Thank you. I worked in the steel mill where I'm retired now. I retired just recently. I seen where us, as the few Blacks that were there, that were fortunate to get those jobs, I made pretty decent money, how we had to work twice as hard as our counterparts, as the Caucasian.
Absolutely.
Anything we did, we had to do it times 3 to get satisfactory from the owners and foremen and supervisors. And I seen that working those 25 years that I worked there. And I said, no, this has to stop. I'm tired of it's time to, like, I do disagree with you. I disagree when you said to the young man, no, some of us have jobs. Some of us, this is where we're getting our money from. We don't want to show up. No, it's time to show our face, frankly. It's time. Do you know how long this has been going on? You yourself, Phrankleen, said, "Oh well, in a couple of weeks, this will be all quiet. This would be over with, and nothing. They'll probably get off, and then it'll be another one, and then another one, and then another. Okay, is that acceptable, Phrankleen? No, sir.
No.
It's time to show our face. And if, like I said, I don't want violence and revolution, but if it comes down to that, so be it."
Well, see, I get what you mean, but sadly, the truth is, you see, for me, right? I can speak for myself. If we need to stand, get on the street right now, I'm the dude. I'm ready to go. But as you'd agree, you're a grown man, you know, and I'm not the. First of all, I have respect for the next man's daily bread, their paycheck, and stuff. I believe when things happen organically, it comes from inside, from your gut feeling, and you have that passion in you, and then yeah, we can say, okay, let's go. But some people, unfortunately, a lot of the places where some of our people get their checks is run by, you know, white folks. Like for example, here in the UK, wait, I know someone
that's the problem.
They can get fined.
The problem
if they
is
show it on social media. So
see,
but they are beautiful.
Frankly, I agree with you, but that is the problem. Most of our checks are coming from them. This is what I'm trying to say. We need to build ourselves economically, become Black Wall Street from Africa to Nigeria to Ghana to Americas to the Caribbean. We need to become an economic power again. And the only way to do that is to globally unite. And I am not racist. I also call all white people, the ones that sees this, they see the good ones. If you are good, join in with us and help us change this. That's what I really mean it. You know, there would be guys at my job that will see injustices towards us blacks, and they felt, and I could see it in their eyes. They didn't like that what happened, you know, to this black guy. But they won't say it. They will say something if you're a good white person. Speak up. So I call celebrities. I call white people that are good white people. Speak up. This can be changed. And that's pretty much it, Phrankleen. I really appreciate you, and I thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Right, let me get the next. Dukuli. Hello. Right, it's frozen. You're frozen, Dukuli. Let's get the next person in. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Phrankleen.
I'm all
Can
right.
you hear me?
How are you?
Hi, good
loud and
evening.
clear.
God bless you. I really I love your spirit. I can see genuinely how you are very genuine, you know, from everything you do. So from the very first day I saw your channel, I started following you. You know, from what is happening, as a Nigerian living in Italy, I witnessed firsthand what racism is. And I understand that racism is beyond calling someone a monkey. Racism is systemic. And as the day passes, coming to Italy has been the best decision of my life so far. You know, the only way forward that I see as a Nigerian, as an African, is going back home, because that is where I'm respected. But the reason going back home is the way forward is because right here, I'm told every day in my face that this is not your home. What are you doing here? I came here as a computer scientist. I came here for a second degree in interior design. I work here, but even at my place of work, there are people who look at me and are like, wow, you're good. What are you doing here? And that doesn't make sense. You understand? So looking at it and coming here, I've been exposed to a lot of information. And I realized that ultimately, the problem is the system. I realized that the word reality, Franklin, reality for me is different from reality for you. Reality is very different, and the reality of being a black man, it's like you're sentenced. Being black, you are sentenced, you know. It's funny, but this is reality. People, there's this, everybody is stereotyped. There are stereotypes. There are black stereotypes. There are white stereotypes. There are Chinese stereotypes. There are different stereotypes. And going to what happened yesterday to the guy who was killed. This guy is not a criminal. This guy is somebody who happens to be a childhood friend to I'm emotional. A childhood friend to an NBA legend, Steven Jackson. And Steven Jackson, I follow Steven Jackson on Instagram. Steven Jackson was in tears. Like, what is this? This happens every day. Will Smith said it, that racism hasn't changed. Racism has not changed. It's just been televised.
And it's just been rebranded with the times.
Yes. You understand? Africa as a whole, my dream, because I know that death is promised. I'm not going to live here forever. Death is promised. My dream is to see Africa come together. I'm not talking about the leadership. I'm talking about the youth, because the leadership is being put there by the system that controls the world today, because there's a system in place. And Africa, it pays. It pays to have to rubbish Africa, because in the West, Africa is looked as a place where people live on trees. You have flies on the faces of children. But Akon said it. Akon said that Africa is the only place in the globe where you can build a Fortune 500 company in less than a decade. The best companies, the Fortune 500 companies in Nigeria, in Senegal, in Ghana, they don't belong to Nigerians. They belong to Western countries, the slum vergers, the shells. And you have China going now, because I have cousins in China who went to China for their PhDs, and they told me that every day in China, the media intentionally puts positive pictures of Africa, that Africa is wonderful, it's the best place for business. So you have lots of Chinese going to Africa, but it's the opposite in America. Yes, that is why you have Chinese people. In 2016, I was in Ethiopia. I thought I was in China. There were much more Chinese than an average Ethiopian. Now they are ravaging and raping our continent. Africa is now being recolonized. You understand? And the reason I'm saying this, to connect this to what is happening in America. Blacks in America, I have a few Black American friends here. And I tell them, my dream is to bring Africans in diaspora. It doesn't matter if you don't know where your root is. If you're Black, you're African. You come back home, we invest in Africa and build the home that we desire. Because in the 70s, Muhammad Ali said that, since you guys hate us, give us 2 states at least. Let us go. Let it be solely Black people. Let us be on our own. But they did not let that be. They didn't let it come to fruition. And you can see what is happening in America. You understand? I had a scholarship to go to America. I said, God forbid, I'd rather come to Italy than to go to America, because it's crazy. The food, the weather, the way people are being treated, people of Black descent, you are treated like shit. And you and I both know as Nigerians that the most educated people in North America are Nigerians. You understand? But when you speak to people who are there, they tell you the way it is. They tell you what it is. You understand? And we can sit down here and go talk from tomorrow till next year, but you cannot change who you are. And who you are is a result of socialization. What you witness from your childhood, your environment, your education, from school, from your neighbor, the way you are treated, your mind, which is a tabula rasa, gets all this information, and then that gives you your self-image. The self-image of a Black American man, it doesn't see himself with respect. That's why we treat ourselves like shit. It is because of the way we have been indoctrinated. And these people in power, they are very, very intelligent people. And they've set it like this. That is why we have to change everything, from the educational system to making Africa a place for Africans in diaspora, where we can go and build whatever we want to build. Understand? Many people have been on here. Gina, they've spoken brilliantly. You understand? We need to come together, to band together as black people to realize that we have the same destiny. Because it doesn't matter who you are, whether you are a Gulesi or you are Byron Allen. If you're black, people treat you like a monkey. They don't treat you like they treat their dog. Look at it. Are you aware that even animals have more rights than black people?
It's like they are mentally wired. There is a stereotypically generated perception of us. It's like they move. This I'm talking from personal experience. I've lived in England for donkey years, and I keep saying this, bro. Like you know, there is a stereotypically generated perception of you. I've been in a place. I remember an incident years ago. Right, I was in the car park in the city centre in Leeds, and this white dude. No, it was a petrol station, right? So I was at the pump. So I'm trying to roll forward because the car was pulling off so I can park and then put petrol in my car. And this white dude just drove aggressively. He was trying to cut me up inside a petrol station, for God's sakes. And he miscalculated and it brushed into, you know, the beat of a block that where the pump sits on. He ran his bumper, bang! And I had to roll my car backwards and I came down. I was very angry, like, dude, what the? You can imagine expletives flying. What the bloody hell is wrong with you? Blah, 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 blah. Like, what are you doing? You could have just waited. You were already behind me. You know, I put my petrol in and then you come on next. Everybody else saw it, right? He even had a child. He had a baby in a car seat, in his back seat, right? I remember this. And the gap between us, you can fit in about 3 cars. He was there, I was here, I was just cursing him out. He was trying to give me all that, but he met his match. You know, I went off on him. Do you know that this guy turned away? I thought he was going into the petrol station to do something. He had gone to call the police. So when I put petrol in my car, you know, as you do, you go into petrol to join the queue, right?
Yes.
And then I was coming back out to get in my car, and I just saw a police car. I saw 2 police officers, and I remember one was very short, the other was taller, and the guy just said, oh, "Excuse me, mate. We just got a call from a member of the public that you know, you had a baseball bat on you and a crowbar. You're threatening everybody in the petrol station forecourt." I said, "Sorry, what? A baseball bat and a crowbar? Threatening?" Oh, and yeah, somebody said they also saw you with what might look like a balaclava, you know, and they're just worried about their safety. So he said, you know, is there a problem? Is there a reason why you're walking around with you know, normally you would expect in a fair environment, let's say somebody told you and lied. A police officer, you have to be objective, right? You have to be fair and ask questions. And I'm like, bro. So one of the things I normally do in a smart way was I put my phone on record. Right? So that sort of destabilized them. And I said, bro, are you joking? And I remember that day, I was actually going for a friend's naming ceremony. I was dressed. I had a Ralph Lauren tie, vintage tie. I was in my sharp nose shoes. I was sharp as a blade, bro. I was just coming from the barber shop, get some petrol, and then go to the naming ceremony. I said, bro, look at me. I'm going to a friend's naming ceremony. Where did you get baseball bats? And also, besides, there were CCTV cameras.
Of course.
Fortunately, long story short, the guy, one of the managers in the forecourt, came out and said, whoa. This gentleman, blah, 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 blah. As I explained to you earlier, what? There's nobody with a baseball bat. Did you know that even though this manager, was a black man, was explaining to the police officer, this man here he did nothing wrong. You know, that man that bumped into this, the police officer was actually still trying to maintain that false narrative. And then he said he needed to look into my car. And I said, no, you ain't. So I locked my car. And then he was actually—
You need a warrant for that.
Yeah. But he was moving to me, like making threat, like he was going to get me arrested. So, and I told him, so at the time, I was just filming. I said I was on Facebook Live. So the other police officer panicked. So he kind of whispered into him like, yo, let it go. And it's like, so, but in the heat of the moment, I didn't get their badge numbers. I saw it on the recording later. So many experiences. Now, I remember when I went back into the petrol station, and he had gone a bit quiet. And that manager, it was a black brother, right? He was just older. And the man said, imagine if this happened where there were no cameras and maybe I wasn't even willing to say something. Said they could have arrested
a different
you
story
under false pretense and they would have ruined your life.
That's one. Then number two.
That's a classic example of racial profiling.
Exactly.
Right.
Stereotyping. There's a book that anybody who's on here, I'd love people to go check this book out. It's called White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. It's an American lady who talks about racism and how every white man, as the lady said earlier, that it's a team sport. They all put on the jerseys. Some participate, some don't, but they all benefit from it. You understand? If you're, excuse my language, if you're black, they call you a monkey because you have no money. Even if you have money, you're called the monkey. But if you're white and you're broke, you're called white trash. You understand? But ultimately, even those who are white trash have more of a leg up compared to a black man. You understand? So in this world, this world is crazy. It's crazy. And what makes it even more painful, there's a saying in Nigeria that I believe you are familiar with it, that the reason why the goat is on top of the house is because the house fell. Yeah. If everything was okay and Africa was the way it was supposed to be, when you say black people in diaspora should go back home, we will be telling them, come back home.
Honestly,
we'll be telling them, come back home.
I would love, I don't care, I'm saying this online, I would love an Africa where white folks be on the queue, they are applying for visas, they are being turned back, you're not allowed. Oh, for falsifying your document, you're banned from coming to Africa for the next 10 years. Can I see your bank statement? And we are giving them reasons why we believe you can't cross the border.
Of course.
Somebody will say to me that, Phrankleen, you're in the fantasy land. It's possible, but
well, we don't live in a fair world. We live in a world where I don't know if you've been to Italy, but please try. Anybody who has, please try and visit Italy. I don't know why Italy will be called the first world country with such. Italy is run like Nigeria. The only difference is that you have white people here. We live in a world that is not balanced. This world we live in is animal farm. Everybody is equal, but some are more equal than others.
Let me shock you. Let me shock you. If anyone's ever been to Paris, you know, Paris is apart from the main Eiffel Tower and all the like popular spots that you know in Paris.
Yes.
The more you get into the back, the more
expensive
you move away
slums,
from, and then you go into the back streets. Bro, this was back in 07 or 08. I remember I went to Paris, right? A couple of friends lived
expensive
in France.
slums. Like I know what you're saying.
Bro, we saw, this is not even, you know, like when you see people who got mental health problems and stuff, like homeless people, that's not even, you know, you see them. I saw, I was on the ground, on the train. I saw people butt naked. Bro, not one, not two, not three. I counted, I lost count. Like in the streets of Paris, butt naked. I remember my friend was like, oh yeah, he took me to this place, there's some back end streets. And I was like, man, these places were stinking. And I'm like, and these people have the audacity
first world country.
Africa.
First world country, right? This is supposed to be called the first world country.
Yeah, I mean,
Why
as soon as you move close to the Eiffel Towers, you see all the ton shops and all that.
Yeah.
That's the tourist attraction areas. The moment you move away from that, and
reality hits you in the face.
Another thing is the level of racism in France. I remember myself and one of my friends, because I said, oh, let's look for a coffee shop because I like coffee. So I said, oh, let's go have coffee, and we walked into this coffee shop, and the guy spoke French. My friend he lives in France. He speaks French, right? And but I don't speak. I couldn't speak French to save my life. Even though, fun fact, I was born in Paris, but that's for another day. We walked into that shop, And we walked into the shop, and I was like, "Oh, excuse me, have you got coffee, please?" Blah 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 blah. And the guy spoke in French, yeah. And I said, "Anglais, bro." These people in broad daylight, they grabbed me by the shirt.
Wow.
And they threw me out.
Wow.
I'm laughing. It's not funny, but I remember they threw me out. My wallet was on the floor. My glasses came off my face, and I was calling my friend, Sheon, like, bro, what the hell? And then the Sheon, my friend, he's Nigerian, and he just like, I got a guy, don't go French, because I don't speak French. And I'm like, don't you fuck me, don't give me that, man, he just flung me out. And I was angry, so we crossed the street, right? Went to another shop, and the guy was already doing this to us. No, black man, no. Whoa.
Was it white or was it a Maghreb? You have lots of Maghrebs there. I mean, people from North Africa. Those guys also are racist towards us.
No, it was a white dude. It was a white dude. My father lived in France for many years. My father, right? Because I was born in Paris. And I remember I was a lot younger than this, and my dad told me a couple of times how unbelievably racist France is. So when I look back now, like you were saying earlier, nothing changed. The only thing about the discrimination and the racism is the perpetrators of racism and discrimination, they perfected their craft. They have blended. They blended with the times. So it's even a lot more difficult now for the victims to be able to effectively articulate yourself and be able to win the argument of racism, except
these guys are social engineers.
Sorry?
They are social engineers. They know what they do. They plan 100, 200, 150 years ahead in time. They don't plan for next week.
Let me tell you this, bro, before I forget. I told somebody this recently. I said, we are moving towards a direction, particularly about us black people. We talk about racism. It's like, based on my years in England and in the West and stuff, yeah? The amount of hatred towards us. You see, that's why you go on Twitter and you say, it's always the racist people. As soon as you say something about racism, oh, you've got a chip on your shoulder. Oh, you've got this. You see, they are moving in a direction where they would love to get to a point where one day in the near future, when you talk about racism, they'll just be looking at you like this. It's like the name of a wallpaper or like the name of a latest bicycle. Like, okay, what's that? They want to get to a point where nothing
everyone is numb. Yeah, everyone is numb to it.
Whereby they did this to me because and it's just like phew, nobody gives a toss. Because the attitude, sometimes I look at some of these. There was a day on I was on a train. I remember this. I was coming from up north down to London, and this guy, I was sat alone adjacent in the table area on the I was charging my iPhone, and this gentleman, a black guy, sat adjacent to me, right? And this white couple were coming, and I heard, I was not told, I was looking at them coming, right? And I heard the guy said to his girlfriend or partner, said, oh, don't sit next to black people, man. So the black guy heard them and said, what, if you sit across me, did anyone say to you, I'm going to physically attack you and all that stuff? And the guy actually replied him, the white guy said, oh, sorry, excuse me, can you stop being aggressive and intimidating towards us, please? All right, you're threatening us right now. Wow. And classic Phrankleen. My wife knows this. Victoria was here, she'll be laughing in the background because she knows. Me, all the wires in my head just went off because me, I'm a diehard. I will fight till I die when it comes to racism. I'm a warrior. So I got up and I'm like, bruv, I switch on my iPhone record. I said, bruv, I double dare you, man. I said, but before we get to the next stop, you can call the police. I double dare you to give a false report about that black geezer, and let's see what happens. The guy ran through the door of the carriage with his girlfriend. The next door, they faded. And then the black brother was like, my brother, thank you, man. It felt good. And we just sat there. The train was scanty. We chatted and chatted. We got off at King's Cross in London. And I'm like, see you later, bro. Have a nice one. Bye-bye. I went about my business, man.
When coming to Europe, it made me appreciate the fact that I'm black. It made me appreciate the fact that I'm Nigerian. It made me know more about Nigeria than I ever knew. You understand? And I lost it. I've gone through different phases of depression because of the information that I've been finding out. Frankly, I've cried. I don't know. In this world, I realized that I hope you know about the Moors, and you know that the Moors came from between West and Central Africa, and these guys ruled Spain and Portugal for 700 years. 700 years. You understand? So I don't know if they fear that the Moors, that Africa has the potential to rule the world. That's why they intentionally came here in 1885, because Africa was shared in 1885, the Berlin Conference. You understand? For 3 months between November 1884 and January 1885, every African country except for Ethiopia was shared as spoils. Our land, our people, everything about us was shared. Imagine Cameroon. Cameroon was German. Then after the Second World War, Cameroon became Anglophone and Francophone. These are our people. Look at what King Leopold did in Congo. Killed more than 8 million Congolese. But you don't hear about that. You hear about the Jews that were killed by Hitler. You understand? So
of course,
our lives don't matter. Our lives don't matter. Nigeria was named Nigeria by Lady Flora Shaw. It wasn't named by a Nigerian man. That was Cameroon named by we didn't even name ourselves.
Let me tell you, bro. Sorry to interrupt you. Let me just put it. Let me put it out there. Nigeria. It's just that, you know, as humans, we try to be patriotic, but let's say the truth, right? Nigeria is a corporate structure. It's like it's a company, just like
Royal Niger Company. The Royal Niger Company.
And register a company. It's a construct. It's a British construct. They saw the land and they thought, amalgamate these people, amalgamate that part, amalgamate this part, you know, put this together, put it this way, put it this way. It's a British construct, right? They forced it into place. Okay? The Northerners, the Southerners, and the Westerners, whatever. It's not meant to be the way it is. It's a corporate structure formed by the West. That's why it's not working.
Do you know?
All the people locally, the tribes, the people that try to fight the invasions, like, yo, what do you want? Why are you trying to do this? They obliterated them, they wiped them out. So they put their puppets in place, right?
Yes.
And
the Fulanis run things there.
It's been so ever since. So whilst the average Nigerian is busy saying, I don't like the Igbos are saying, to hell with the Yorubas are throwing their sleepers at the Hausa people up north. You're too busy with pointless distractions called tribalism and xenophobia amongst yourselves. But the fact is, the bigger picture is, there are the people at the top of the pyramid of the spectrum that are actually controlling our leaders. That's why bro, we live abroad. I'm sat in this room. There is light in here. Nobody's saying the light you use abroad is free. It's not free. The roads, they tax us to death. If they could tax you for oxygen in the UK, they would tax you.
They would.
If they know how to tax you for even using the toilet in your house, they will start taxing you tomorrow morning. They love to tax everything. But having said all of that, they make it work, right? It's important for them to have Africa debilitated, to have Africa on its knees so that they can remain in control. Bro, if Africa were to experience financial freedom tomorrow,
what am I doing here?
Just imagine Africa becomes the first world country. Like, we are operating at the top level of our abilities as nations. My. Because everything that the West needs to survive, virtually everything.
It's in Africa, from bauxite to uranium to gold to silver to natural gas.
You were talking about the Berlin Conference and all that. They don't care about
they don't care about the people. They care about the natural resource.
If they could, that's why they're working on the ground to look for a way to carry out that genocide. They want the resources. They want to entirely dominate the land and take over. Because if we look, I was telling myself the other day, bro, it's a vicious cycle, you know. And I
met someone. I met someone recently. I met someone recently who said that.
Hold on. I live here in the West, and I'm not afraid to say this. A lot of us are here in the West.
Yes.
They are coming through the back door and taking over Africa. It's a vicious cycle, isn't it? Even Frankly, in the West, they're pushing us into a corner. Go on, bro.
Imagine Dr. Philippe Emeagwali. I don't know if you've heard of him. He talked about is a respected Nigerian inventor in America. He talked about the word brain drain. Brain drain is modern day slavery. Yeah. Because our best minds in almost virtually every African country, the best minds are coming to Europe, to America, and we are giving our dreams, we are giving our sweat, our blood to build these economies, these countries. You understand? Because if back home was suitable enough, we would never venture away. We would always be there. But Africa is backward. In fact, Africa is retrogressing. It is retrogressing. Look at Nigeria. It has gone back it has gone back. We were going forward. Now it has really gone back. Look at Ghana. Ever since they discovered crude oil, it has gone back. So the best minds, doctors, lawyers, tech guru, young minds, they are going to Australia, Canada right now. You see what is happening in Canada? You see the mad rush from Nigeria and other African countries to Canada, to New Zealand, to Australia, to America. Everybody is moving. And these people moving are not just GI Joes on the streets. These are qualified doctors. Your best minds are leaving. And who's suffering? The continent is suffering. You understand? It's suffering. So ultimately, I think that the place where the Third World War will be fought will be for Africa, because China is moving into Africa, and the West is losing her grip on Africa. But unfortunately, the people there don't even know their onions. We don't know that what we have, our culture, our land, our resource, everything about us, even our melanin, everybody wants it. If you know about the human, the organ trade market, the African organs are more expensive. An African heart goes for about $1.2 million. You understand? Wow. Madness is happening in Libya. I don't know. I get mad. I spoke with a journalist 2 weeks ago during the coronavirus via Zoom, and I was telling him, I said, you guys should research what is happening in Libya. Nigerians, Ghanaians, Gambians are being caught in cages and sold as animals to Bahrain and to China, and their organs are being harvested. People who want to come to Europe. But the media doesn't report this. You understand? Because the media is also part of the system that desensitizes people. You understand? And you have people who will respect the Michael Jordans of this world, the Oprahs, the Whoopi Goldbergs. These people choose to remain quiet because they prefer their image as opposed to coming out to speak for people. People care much about their image today.
No, it's not about preferring. It's not about preference. It's about the fact that they are puppets. You see, bro, let me put it to you this way, in the simplest form of it. Yeah?
Yeah.
It takes nothing. It only takes your gut. It takes a degree of confidence, right? If you believe in something, nothing stops you. That's why people like us, let me tell you this. Let me put it to you this way. This is Phrankleen, right? I'm a regular dude. I enjoy what I do. I'm passionate. I come here. I sign into my YouTube account. People are listening to me, right? As far as I'm concerned, I am not owned, not governed by anybody. Nobody, I'm not on anyone's payroll, right? Apart from if my viewers who are generous, right? You know, support my channel with their donations and stuff, which I appreciate, right? But to say like, oh, there's some dark hands, some politicians, some powerful people in the dark somewhere and say, oh, listen, Phrankleen, we like your passion. Come work for us. We'll set up a big studio for you, a podcast. You can talk, but you know, you do not talk about this. You don't say this. In fact, we'll use you as a tool to fuel our propaganda. So the moment they strip you of your integrity and they're the one drip feeding you, you can't then get up and say no to racism. Oh, we fight. Nah, man. At the click of a button, they will tear you down because they own you. So all of these, this is why I laugh. All of these people, you're expecting, I'm not naming anybody, you're expecting XYZ celebrities to.
Yes.
They are puppets. You go to their Instagram pages, their Twitter accounts. They have 50 million followers. They have 100 and something million followers. They have 80 million followers. You go on their YouTube accounts, you see 25 million subscribers, and they cannot use that platform to put out one content addressing the illegalities and saying it as it is. They dare not. You cannot talk against the establishment that made you. They will tear you apart before tomorrow morning.
Keyword,
you dare
establishment.
Not. They will wipe you out.
Of course.
So for people like us, yeah, for people like us who are regular people who are unfiltered, right?
Yes.
That's why when we talk and we say it raw, YouTube might try to shadow ban you. They try to delete your videos.
They demonetize you.
They demonetize. They try to remove things. They try, you know, because they know that, oh, this guy, because the moment you're saying certain things that poses a threat, they look for a way to shut you down or keep you quiet. So, and unfortunately, all the so-called big names, bro, 99.999% of them are sellouts. It's the same thing when you look at the music industry. Look at it closely. The very, very talented, gifted singers who do not bend over. They don't get to the top. They are just you're wondering, your favorite R&B singer, you think this guy deserves Grammy.
It could have been so much more, of course.
But if you're not going to, you know, drop the boxes or whatever, man, yeah, hey. So
in everything we've said, anybody who's listening, and you're an African, I want you to put this in your mind. No matter what you do, you should advocate for ownership. If you have a business, own it. If you're doing it, if you're working today for Microsoft, high-paying job, I celebrate you. But save, build something, build your own brand that employs Black people. Ownership. The Indians are respected, Chinese are respected, Koreans are respected, Japanese are respected. You know, Germans are respected. Let Africans be respected. We're the biggest continent with 56 countries. Let us advocate for ownership. Let us advocate for ownership. Our brother, who's Dangote, the members of his staff, many of them are Indians in top paying positions. That is wrong. Michael Ayola Olujido-Wolabi, I advocate for ownership. And I tell any person listening to me, no matter what you do in life, put your heart to it. And once you own it, know fully well that once it's a dream that is worth dying for, your people will work for you and people will make what you own to grow. Let us invest in ownership and let us buy Black. You understand? This is the best. This is the fundamental level by which we can take back our manhood, our respect, our pride. Thank you so much, Phrankleen. Thank you so much, Phrankleen. God bless you.
Thank you. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, man. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you, bro. That's me done for tonight. Thank you for watching me. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. For those of you in the queue, I'm sorry you can't take all the calls tonight. It's been a wonderful session. Rest in peace to our brother, George Floyd, and my heart goes out to his family. All the black people out there, let's keep the fire burning. And I'm positive. I like to remain positive that we'll get justice someday, and we shall overcome, man. We're not here to preach hate. We're just talking about the fact that we deserve to be respected as a people. We deserve to be treated fairly, okay? And as some people rightly said, this is not about propagating or advocating for violence, but we have the right to stand up, use our minds constructively, okay, and get the best out of ourselves. Never forget ADOS, African American, this and that, Hebrew, Israelite, whatever you want to call yourself, as long as you're black like me, we have one common enemy, okay? We are the best resources that we've got, all right? Love and respect to everybody, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one, all right? If you want to support my channel, patreon.com/Phrankleen, as it's spelled on my channel, or look in the description below. There's a link to my PayPal. Show your love, man. For all the super chatters tonight, thank you. Peace out, man. Peace out.